Okay, we're starting Be'ez Hashem Siman Ayin Ches Vayol Moshe. Ume'ata tzarich lahavin. He says, now we have to understand, we have a kasha. Now that we've understood what the shvua is and what's behind it and why it's aser, now we're going to have a big kasha, and the kasha is going to be, why is there a shvua? What's the need for the shvua? The shvua is redundant, because now that it's aser anyway, because it's kvir, what do you need a shvua for? So he says, Me'ata tzarich lahavin, kivin shel etzem inyan shel dechikas haketz. Since this idea, without any other affairs, just pushing for the end before it's time, hu kfir ba'Torah kedosha, that's going against the Torah. Shehu bi'harg v'al yavor, and it's such a big fear that it's harg v'al yavor. Kedin shmad, tzimkein hu chomer harbe yoister me'ester shvua. It's a much bigger sin than just breaking a false oath or breaking an oath. So what was the point of adding on this shvua al mashu chomer harbe yoister me'shvua, on something that's much more severe than an oath? Okay. A similar question is asked by Tosfos in Shvuos. That Moshe Rabbeinu was mashpia the Jewish people not to do avodah zarah, and the Gemara talks about it there. So Tosfos is a very short Tosfos there, and he doesn't give an answer. He just asks a question. He says, "V'hikshu sham b'Tosfos, ma ha'isa moyalas hashvua." What was the point of Moshe Rabbeinu's shvua? Just like Moshe Rabbeinu was afraid that the Jews would worship idols, so he should have been afraid they're going to transgress the oath. Because what's the point? You're afraid the person's going to do an aveira, he's going to break what the Torah says, and he's going to do avodah zarah. So just like he could do that, he could break what the Torah says and violate an oath. What's the point of putting an oath on him not to do avodah zarah? And Tosfos doesn't answer. So because of our Marsha says on that Tosfos, the loikash midi, that no, it's not shver. Why? The shvua atzma hi kabbalas haTorah. The shvua is the acceptance of the Torah. Because what does it mean to accept the Torah? What does the Torah say? Hashem came down on Har Sinai and said, "Don't do avodah zarah." Moshe said over what Hashem said, but that's not called that they accepted it. How do they accept it? Just by saying, "We accept." Nasa v'nishma. So the Marsha is saying that because they said that Amen on Moshe Rabbeinu's shvua, they were makabel Torah. That was the Kabbalas HaTorah. Okay. Ve'apanim me'iris bekosnos or. Apanim me'iris was Meir Eisenstadt, or Meir from Eisenstadt.
Where is it?
1700s, early 1700s. Eisenstadt is in Germany, and he wrote a lot of sefarim. The main sefer he wrote was called the Apanim me'iris. It's a Shalos Tshuva sefer, but he also wrote on Chumash. And he's quoting the one in Chumash now. The Kosnos Or, the Sefer Kosnos Or, Parshas Nitzavim, Kosav Liyashiv Kushas HaTosfos. He comes to answer up Tosfos. The Isa b'Masechta Shvuos, Kama in Yonim Shechomer Ha'inish Ve'Apurani is b'Shvua, Yoister Mikol Avei Shvuah Torah. There's a lot of things that are more severe about an oath than any other sin in the Torah. On the second page of the Hakdama, page Vav, it says in the first paragraph, "Umevur b'Gemara, Gemara Shvuos Daf Lamates, v'chol ha'aveir shebaTorah nifroin mimenu." All other sins, Hashem punishes just the person himself. U'v'shvua mimenu u'mimishpachtoi u'mikol ha'olam kuloi.
Yeah, like Bezin warns a person before he swears.
Right. This is the warning. This is what it is. Masechta Shvuos and the Mishnah there about warning a person. So he and his family and the whole world get punished for it. And then it goes on there, it says that the punishment comes right away, it doesn't come after a few generations, a few other chumras. Okay? The Rebbe uses that in Hakdama to explain why the Holocaust happened, because he's talking about the Shalosh Shvuos, all the efforts that the Zionists made before World War II to bring them about the Medina, even though they didn't actually get it, but by Shvuos there's an oynish even on thoughts and plans. So he says that for thoughts and for plans,
why is Shvuos so chamer?
Because the Ibn Ezra says on Chumash, on the Aseret HaDibros, like Lo Sisa, says that when you take Hashem's name and you make a shvuah with it, you're like saying this is true, just like Hashem is true. So if you don't keep what you're saying, it's like Chas v'Shalom being kofer in Hashem.
Yeah, it's the only aveira where it says Lo Yinak as Hashem. The only aveira Hashem will not absolve anyone for.
Right. So now, the Apanim me'iris wants to say that's why Moshe Rabbeinu had to add on a shvuah, right? He says, "V'lachein," back to the Ein Ches, "V'lachein hishbiam." That's why he made them swear on Avodah Zarah. Avodah Zarah is already a big aveir. The answer is Shiyu Yireim Yoiser Mi'onesh Shvuah, that they're going to be more afraid of the punishment of the shvuah than they are of the punishment for Avodah Zarah. Take a look inside. Kostner or Nitzavim. Uvetoisvis b'shvuas dibur maskal kishbiyah Moshe Yisrael kostfu v'zel shaynam katzas kasha. Toisvis asks, "My ha'isa moyelas hashvuah." What was the point of this oath? K'moshe ha'yar sheyavdu Avodah Zarah, k'moikein ha'yali rosh sheyavru shvuah ad kan l'shaynai v'li nira. So he says the teretz is liyashev kushas ha'toisvis mishum the isa beperk shvuas hadayanim. We see later on shvuas hadayanim lamates b'chol aveir shebatoyer im yesh lo yischus toilim loy. That if someone has a schus, even though they did this sin, they get a delay in the punishment. Shnayim v'shalosh doiros. They get, what's it called? Grace period. V'kan nifroim mimenu la'alter. But by shvuah, the punishment comes right away. Shneimar uva el beis haganav v'el beis hanishbal b'shmuel ha'shaker uvazeh nicha iloi hishbiya Moshe lahem. So now we understand, because Eloi Yishbiya Moshe lahem, if Moshe wouldn't have made them swear, they'll say, okay, we'll do Avodah Zarah now, and we won't get punished now.
Or Hashem might absolve it.
Well, yeah, if you do it, you have the time to do tshuva. It's a grace period. Yeah. We ourselves won't get punished. The future generations will. Once you put the shvuah on them, if they do Avodah Zarah, they themselves will be punished.
Why, when a baby's going to make him swear, for that reason, because he's going to be punished right away, and not say it's going to be delayed by punishment. Make a vaday for swear to be a tzaddik.
Okay, so
because you shouldn't say that. It's all good if I commit it. It's not that terrible.
So now that's the punishment. That's the punishment.
Shvuah itself breaking is a terrible avera. More than any of the Avera.
The Rebbe asks on this Kostner Sor, the Panim Miris, She'al korchach oisam oisa shvuah haTorah she'ishbiya Moshe es Yisrael. You have to say that when Moshe made the Jews swear to keep the whole Torah, b'matan Torah, lo nemru aleha oisa oina shapurani es nemru b'isra shvuah. That doesn't have the extra severity of a shvuah. Because if it did, then how could the Gemara say that other averes don't have such a severe punishment as shvuah? Every isser in the Torah also has a shvuah on it. Because this shvuah that Moshe imposed at Har Sinai is the same shvuah that the Gemara always mentions when it says Mushpa v'oim Har Sinai. The mehai time of b'shvuah is daf chav gimel. That's why the Gemara says many places she'ein shvuah chala al dvar iser, that a shvuah doesn't take effect over an iser.
Because it already existed by a Barasina shvuah.
If you swear not to eat something that's also to eat anyway from the Torah, it's not chal. Yan shemushpa v'oimim mihar Sinai. It always says that you're already sworn from Har Sinai. So obviously this shvuah that Moshe made is a real shvuah. Ve'ein shvuah chal al shvuah. V'al tzarich loymar. You must say. And by the way, it could be the Moshe himself in this Gemara in Daf Chav Tes in Shavuos. He was only talking about the Avodah Zarah. That's why the Rebbe had to bring a raya from the other places in Shas where it says Mushpav Oimid. That the whole entire Torah is Mushpav Oimid, Mihar Sinai. So if you say that the Shavuos HaTorah had this special severity, then all the Averes are going to have that severity, and that's not true. So even though the whole Torah does have a shvuah, I have a general oath, that when it comes to the punishment for it, it's not the same as another oath. Other oaths in the Torah, real oaths, have a punishment that's very severe. Punishment right away, and it's the whole world and everything, like the Gemara in Shavuos Lamates. And over here, it's only like Stam and Aver. The Nister Terutza shall upon the Meiris. So this slugs up the upon the Meiris. Shuvra isi b'sefer Chasidim Siman Taf Vav Shekasa v'zel l'shoynai. Sefer Chasidim Rabbi Yehuda Chassid says U'maisa v'isha achas shirachza shnei vaneha. There was a story about a woman who washed her two children, v'hitbiya echad es chaveiroi, and one of them drowned the other one. She turned their back for a minute, and one of them pushed the other one in the water, and he drowned. So v'nadra ima, the mother made a vow, shaloi lirchotz bayoim hahi, that she'll never take a bath on that day. So pamach asayis bailas bris. One time she was making a bris, v'rochza, and she, in honor of the bris, she took a bath, umesa, and she died because of her oath. Another story. There was a lady who made a vow not to drink the water of a certain well. One time she did drink it, and she took it home to her house, and then she died. Rabbi Yehuda Chassid is asking the Rebbe's kasha here. He's asking, all other Aveiros in the Torah also have a Shvuah, because Mushba v'Oimed, so how come people don't just drop dead if they do an Aveir? How come by Shvuah it seems to be so chomer that the Oynish comes right away? So, Ad Kan L'Shoinoi. That's what Rabbi Yehuda Chassid asks. V'atam shekostiv was ze'achar kach eino muvan kol kach. What Rabbi Yehuda Chassid says to answer this question is not understandable. B'tzar chiyun. Okay, in all the ways of Hashem there are many things that we don't understand, many reasons that we can't fathom them. That whatever we can understand is just a drop in the sea, but there's a lot more to understand why things work the way they work. But we see from the facts that it's not the same. You see, a shvuah is not the same as the rest of the Torah. This we see, even though the shvuah from Har Sinai is like a shvuah, that one shvuah can't take effect on another, for the sake of punishing the person, it's not the same. And that's the proof from the Gemara that he brought before, that all shvuahs, all things in the Torah have a shvuah, but the Gemara says,
I guess you make a double shvuah, maybe for make a shvuah and a shvuah.
Okay, maybe. So the Gemara in Shvuah Daf Lamed Tes says that shvuah is more severe than anything else. So you have to say that the other things don't have the same einish. Okay, Ach b'shvuas HaTorah yesh loymar k'divrei Maharsha. But we still have the first teretz that we brought, the Maharsha's teretz, which was that when Moshe Rabbeinu made the Yidden swear, and the Tosfos asked, why does he need to do that for? If they're going to do the Aveir, they're going to do it anyway. So the teretz is because that was the Kabbalah HaTorah. That itself was the Kabbalah HaTorah. Shvuah is necessary to accept the Torah. It shouldn't just be words. So, Lagabi the Shvuas HaTorah, we can say like the Maharsha's teretz. But this Panim Me'iris teretz is also useful, even though he slugged it up. But we could use it for the Shvuas of the Galus, the Shalosh Shvuas. Why? So, in other words, the kasha was, the Shalosh Shvuas are so chomer anyway because there's kfir, and kfir is like avodah zarah. So, what's the point of being mashpia somebody on that? The teretz is to add on this special thing that the Panim Me'iris says, that a shvuah has a special severity, that it goes right away, it doesn't wait 2 generations, and it's kol oil and kuloi, all these kind of things that the shvuah has that nothing else has. We find taka that this shvuah of the shalosh shvuahs does have a severe punishment, and it's not the regular shvuah punishment of Daf Lamed Tes. It's a different one. The Gemara in Ksuba says that the punishment is that Hashem will be mafkir the flesh of the Yidden. We don't even find this by any other oath. So now we don't have this problem. Why do we need an oath? We need the oath for the Oynish. The oath is coming to increase the punishment. More than the regular punishment for heresy. Even avodah zarah is also kfira. Bowing to an idol is denying what the Torah says. And it's much more of a severe sin than a shvuah. And it could still be that when a person takes a shvuah not to do avodah zarah, like the Panim Me'iris says, that the punishment comes quicker. So, bifrat b'shvua zu, and especially that's true by this oath of the Shalosh Shvuos, Shalom Beferish Ani Matiris B'Sarchim. Now here there's a special einish that's spoken out explicitly, that's not spoken out by other Shvuos.
Because you find in Israel now that the Arabs are being hefker on Jews there. It's like they were matir, all the way. You see right now.
Rambam, and even according to the Rambam, Shekasev Shashvua Hi B'derech Mashal, that in other words, the Rambam, we had a kasha in I think in Simon Lamed Vav. He ended off in Lamed Aleph. Yeah, he talked about the Rambam. Yeah, in Simon Lamed Gimel, that's where we had the Rambam first, the lashon of the Rambam Mashal. He first asked on it. In the end of Lamed Gimel, he said, "Ve'ena muvan the kiven shechashav zois l'shpua chamura ve'amar yishpati eschem b'oinish chom rachman l'slan lama amar shehu al derech mashal." Why did the Rambam say in the Geras Teiman that it's al derech mashal? It's not a real thing. What's the why the Rambam say that? And then again in Simon Lamed Vav, at the end, he says that the shvua is anyway aser, and he says me'ata, the end of Simon Lamed Vav, me'ata ef shelahavin gam das Rambam zal shekasav al shvua segalius afli Yisrael derech mashal. That the reason why the Rambam said mashal is the kiven shel nisgala oisa shvua b'Sinai. That the shvua didn't exist yet by Sinai; it wasn't given then. El acher kach al yidei Shlomo Melech. All of a shalom. The gam yesham shvua l'umas oilam, and the shvua goes on the nations, which is also not chal. V'chein soiver she'ena shvua al pi halacha. That's why the Rambam says it's not really a shvua. Mitam manal, like the reason we said before. El nichtav lashon shvua derech mashal. B'shvil shu inin chomer me'oid gam mi baladei shvua. Even without the oath, it's a very chomedik thing. So the oath is just a mashal. It's not really the reason why it's aser. So now he's reiterating that word that he said in the Rambam. He says, similar Ayin Ches again. So up till now he was saying that the shvua is more chamor. It's adding on a chumrah, it's adding on a punishment. Now he's saying maybe the Rambam would disagree with that, because the Rambam said it's only a mashal, so maybe it's not going to be a real punishment. So he says no. Why did the Chazal give this mashal? And Shlomo Melech. Now we understand that. Even though a regular oath can't be chal on future generations, so just out the oath alone it wouldn't be chal. But now we established that the being doichek a kates is kfira, so it is chal. So that's really the mechayev here. But mikol makom hoidia hanavua shehikpi HaKadosh Baruch Hu lahatil al zeh oynish k'moy shvua. That the nevuah of Shlomo Melech is telling us that Hashem put on this type of fear an oynish, the same oynish as shvua. So that's what the Rambam means by mashal. Uvazehu nimshal shvua. It's compared to an oath. V'nimtza she'oisa shvua shaloi likach geula me'atzmam. This oath, not to take the geula on our own, hu chamura harbe yoister me'ashvua shaloi b'matan Torah. It's much more of a severe oath than the one of Matan Torah. Right, that even Matan Torah, all the Averis in the Torah have an oath. But we said already in the Siman that those Averis don't have the severity of the oath. But this one of the Shalosh Shvuos does have the severity of the oath, and even more, it has the Ani Matiris B'Sarchim. So it's Harbe Yoiser Mishvua Shahai B'Matan Torah Sheyesh Aleha Gam Oynesh HaShvua Mamish. That here by the Shalosh Shvuos there's even the regular Oynesh of a Shvua of Shvuos Tach Lamed Tes, right, and also the Ani Matiris B'Sarchim. Now we understand why the shvua had to be added on. Why it wasn't good enough just to go with the regular Isser of Kvir.